Did Meghan Markle fake cry at the Queen's funeral? Hello everyone, welcome to Royal News Network. My name is Brittany and today we're going to be talking about this image of Meghan where she's subtly dabbing at a tear that's rolling down her face. And I just saw that picture and I just immediately thought, fake. And it could have been an act of genuine emotion. However, Meghan, through her actions, has told us that, she's not that fond of the Queen or the British royal family or the British people or the British traditions. And in addition to that, she's also an actress. And what do actresses do? They fake cry on cue. And who has bragged about fake crying on cue? Why, Meghan herself. So go ahead and take a look at this clip.
Now make yourself cry. Yeah. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my God, it's crazy. You're like, Meghan, one tear, left eye, go. Give me 3 seconds.
All right, guys, but before we go into it all, if you guys haven't been here before, hello, my name is Brittany, and on this channel, we'll talk about everything related to royals. So that's news, gossip, fashion, jewelry, television shows, movies, and history. We shall do it all right here. So if you guys want to subscribe, I would absolutely love it. I am so close to 40,000. So if I could break that very, very soon, I would be absolutely thrilled. And like I said, today we're going to be talking about Meghan and that dab of her glove underneath her eye. Oh my goodness, it's like so cringe when you see it because it just screams fake. And there's just a couple of reasons why I came to that conclusion. Obviously, you can argue with that and you say, well, it is a deeply emotional time. Other family members were crying throughout the day. So it's not, is it just Meghan? Is it just because you're not a fan of Meghan? And yes, I am not a fan. I'll totally admit that. But I also just think, how perfect is it at the perfect moment when there's a photographer there to capture the picture of everyone, you just happen to have one single tear roll down the left side of your face. And I just remember thinking, I just feel like that's too coincidental to actually be real. And it's too perfect. That's the thing. It's too perfect to seemingly be real. And why do I think that? Obviously, again, we had the video.
Now make yourself cry. Yeah. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my God, it's crazy. You're like, Meghan, one tear, left eye, go. Give me 3 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. So, she tells, if the director tells her which eye, she can have that tear roll down right through that eye. I mean, she's told us she can do this. And, all actresses act. Not that Meghan is a particularly good one, but if she can cry on cue, there's some women who can, some people who can cry on cue. I'm not one of those. But there's some people who are crying for them is a very easy thing to do. And so I can completely see her being able to do this. But overall, why does this strike me as not really perhaps a genuine feeling of emotion? Well, number one, Meghan and Harry have made a concerted effort not to visit the Queen. They even could have visited Balmoral just a couple days before she died, and they said no. They decided not to. So you're telling me you're having this huge emotional moment for a woman you've basically avoided for the last 2 years. And when Harry and Meghan went back for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, what did they do? They visited with her for 15 to 30 minutes and then cut it short because they couldn't get basically their professional photographer there to capture the moment. Because it was all about optics and being able to sell the pictures at some point. At least in my opinion, that's what I saw. And so it's like, so you're displaying this in this moment where photographers are there all around, that the cameras are around, you're displaying this, single tear. And it just, again, screams contrived. It really, really does. And we saw Charlotte actually there was a picture of her where she seemed to actually break down. And obviously she's a child, and so I completely understand why she would. And I mean, there's another picture where Meghan kind of looks like maybe, and I'm not sure exactly where it's from, that maybe one of her eye, again, that left one that she cried with, that had the single tear, was the makeup seemed maybe a little bit messier on the one side. But it's like, well, why are you crying on one side of the face and the other? And again, it comes back to, she didn't, and Harry hardly ever spent any time with the Queen, especially since Megxit. And their, excuse for the first year was COVID, but kind of after basically all the COVID restrictions were lifted, why couldn't you spend more time? Like, there's plenty of time you could spend. You could come to the UK for the summers. You could come to the UK, and stay for a month. No, even when they came for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, they only stayed 3 full days in the UK, supposedly with their kids. and then went home. And so it's like, you weren't even there. You didn't even spend any time with her. And one of the biggest celebrations of her historic reign, you weren't there. You left. You left as soon as you possibly could. And you didn't even participate with your children in any of the events. So I have a hard time feeling that you're having this huge swell of emotion for a woman you basically ghosted, or, as we should say, Markled. That you basically Markled. But yet, at the same time, Harry and Meghan have constantly praised the Queen. They've tried to keep the Queen, to a certain extent, above the fray. But here's the other problem with Meghan's tier, is that Meghan has constantly attacked the monarchy for the last 2 years. And you know what happens when you attack the monarchy? You are attacking the Queen. So even if she says, well, you know, Philip and the Queen never made the racist allegation, and, you know, they go above and beyond to praise the Queen constantly. They constantly denigrate and pull down her own family, her history, her traditions, everything she's done as monarch. They kind of just trash it constantly. So you're telling me that you had this great wave of emotion for this woman, and yet you constantly trashed and tried to tear down her monarchy and her son, who is the next heir to the throne. So I just don't totally buy it at all. Even leading up to her death, just the week before the Queen died, Meghan made veiled threats against the monarchy, saying that basically she wasn't forced to sign anything. She wasn't forced to sign an NDA. Ergo, she can still talk and she can still share her story. So you are still threatening the monarchy, the institution, this woman who's 96, who we don't know, but suddenly kind of passed away the week later. And yet you're still, you know, trying to convince us that, yes, you are deeply moved in this situation. Again, I kind of call BS. That's just obviously my opinion. But again, it's just one of those things where it just rings hollow. Like so many things Meghan does, it just rings hollow. And obviously one of the biggest reasons why this whole thing could be faked is that, well, Meghan's an actress. She is known to cry on cue. She brags about crying on cue. Ergo, can she cry on cue? Well, yes, especially when there's cameras around. She knows there's cameras around. And Meghan is trying to sell this grief because she knows she screwed up. She knows that, you know, she attacked Charles, she attacked the institution, and now all of a sudden the Queen's out of the picture and she's kind of stuck going, oh, wait, you know, things aren't going our way again. Wait. And, you know, they've been kind of publicly embarrassed because they attempted to get Omen Scobie to get them invited to this diplomatic reception. And the palace said, well, no, they were never supposed to be invited. They never were invited, basically. And it's kind of funny considering the fact that the Foreign Office just recently kind of did this groveling apology to Crown Princess Mary for kind of accidentally inviting her to the funeral because, you know, the Queen of Denmark, her husband has passed away, and so her son went with her. And, you know, sometimes too, you know, the spouse will go with it, but because of the tight seating arrangement, they decide no. Now, there were a couple other families that got an extra member, so Princess Beatrice of the Netherlands, who was once queen, she went, but that made sense. You know, Juan Carlos, who used to be King of Spain, he and his wife, they also went, even though, you know, obviously that's extended family members. So there was a bit of a difference there. But all that to say is that, you know, Crown Princess Mary was really invited, and then they said, oh no, we just don't have enough seats, so we apologize, we're gonna have to rescind the invitation. And then again issued this groveling apology to her, basically. And Meghan, is anybody issuing a groveling apology for the diplomatic reception? No, they're all just kind of looking at each other going, how in the world did you get an invitation to this? You weren't supposed to be here at all. Here's the thing, the hard thing is, as an actress, it is difficult to tell when somebody is, you know, an actor can have obviously a true emotion. That's not what I'm saying at all. But Meghan has basically tried to gaslight the public, lied to the public multiple times. You know, in her Oprah Winfrey interview, I've always said about 5 to 10% of that thing was actually correct. Because I mean, her and Harry contradicted each other on the story about when she thought about it taking her own life, about the racist allegations. They had contradictory stories about that, and the timelines were vastly different, especially about the racist story. Meghan said it was multiple times while she was pregnant. Harry said it was one time before they even got married. So which is it? How are you guys in the same interview and can't even can't even agree on the same story. But either way, guys, this is just kind of a huge problem. Meghan Markle just doesn't have any credibility on this issue. She hates the British monarchy. She hates the royal family. So when she cries, when she has that fake tear, it just screams absolutely, completely, and 100% fake, even if it's real. I think the real reason she's crying is that she's realizing, oh no, A, Charles is king now, so perhaps my children won't get the titles I thought they would get. B, I'm not getting any of the Queen's jewelry. I'm not getting any inheritance at all. Me and Harry are now being officially shoved to the side, and obviously the the Waleses are becoming basically, you know, the Prince and Princess of Wales and are basically running the show. But guys, let me know what you think. Do you think that tear was real, or do you think, like I do, that it was completely fake, contrived in order to try to elicit sympathy from the public? Because Meghan thinks that, you know, in order to do that, she can't really have a genuine emotion, really. She has to fake it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm sorry this video is a bit shorter. My battery is running out and I have to run somewhere else. So guys, I will see you soon, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.